Welcome back to the Microsoft AI Adoption Accelerator. This is episode 7, Trust, Data, and Responsible AI. Until now, we have built the vision, the business case, the use case library, the champion network, and the prompt fluency. 5 episodes of momentum. Now we cross the line where most rollouts quietly stall, the trust line. Because the question every CIO, CISO, legal lead, and union representative is asking is not, does it work? That question is settled. The question is, can we trust this in our environment, with our data, in regulated workflows, when the auditor walks in? Today is the practical version of that conversation, not a compliance lecture. A working playbook for the trust signals that quietly determine whether your rollout earns the second year of budget. Let's get into it. Quick recap. People can prompt, champions are demoing, cards are landing, and then around month 4, something changes. Without trust signals, here is the pattern. Usage spreads, anxiety follows, an incident or a near incident gets escalated. Legal puts the brakes on, scope shrinks, and quietly the renewal conversation moves from let's expand to let's pause. With trust signals, usage spreads, but confidence spreads with it. The CISO has a dashboard. Legal has a paper trail, risk has a control framework. Year 2 gets funded. Sometimes with more scope, not less. Same tool, same usage growth, different trust posture, different outcome. This episode is about earning that posture before you need it. Here is the trust gap in one number. Across deployments that stall before year 2, roughly 40% cite a trust or governance failure as the primary reason, not an adoption failure. Usage failure looks like people didn't adopt, the demos didn't land, the value never showed. We have spent 6 episodes solving that problem. Trust failure is the opposite. Adoption was working, sometimes spectacularly, and the wheels came off because governance, data boundaries, or audit posture could not keep up. The CFO discovered finance staff were drafting commentary that referenced board materials Copilot should not have seen. The DPO realized personal data was being summarized in shared chats. The auditor asked for a log, and there wasn't one. Same outcome, paused rollout, but for the opposite reason. The fix is not less adoption. The fix is engineering the trust signals into the rollout from week 1. 5 trust signals. Memorize them. Engineer them in from week 1. 1. Grounding. Every Copilot answer is anchored to your data, your documents, your context, not generic internet text. The user can see the source, so can the auditor. 2. Data boundaries. Copilot only sees what the user is already entitled to see. The Microsoft 365 permission model travels with the prompt. Misconfigured permissions show up as Copilot leaks. Find them now, not after. 3. Sensitivity labels. Documents marked confidential, restricted, or above carry that label into and out of Copilot interactions. The label is the air traffic control system for your data. 4. Human in the loop. For any decision that affects a customer, an employee, or a regulator, a human signs off before the output ships. Designed in, not bolted on. 5. Audit. Every prompt, every output, every accepted answer is logged, retained, and queryable for the period your industry requires. 5 signals. Stop calling them controls. Start calling them trust signals. The vocabulary matters. Let me show you what grounding means in practice. Same question. What did we commit to in the renewal contract with this customer? Ungrounded. The model writes a confident, plausible-sounding paragraph from training data. Sounds right, may be completely wrong. There is no source to check. This is what people fear when they imagine AI, a confident liar. Grounded, the model retrieves the actual contract from SharePoint, the email thread that referenced it, and last quarter's review notes, and writes the same paragraph with 3 citations. The user can click each citation and see the source line. The auditor can verify the chain. The lawyer can correct it. Same question, same model. 2 completely different trust postures. Grounding is not a feature you switch on. It is a habit you teach. Every prompt names its sources. and the user reads the citations before they ship the answer. Without grounding, every output is unverifiable. With grounding, every output is correctable. 6 rules for data boundaries. Print these on a card. 1. What the user sees, Copilot sees. The model is acting on the user's behalf with the user's identity. Their files, their email, their chats, yes. 2. What the user cannot see, Copilot cannot see. There is no backdoor access. The same permission model that protects the SharePoint folder protects the Copilot prompt. 3. Permissions are the boundary, not labels, not policies, not promises. Permissions. If a folder is open to everyone in the company and shouldn't be, fix the permission, not the prompt. 4. And this is the painful one. Your oversharing problem is now visible. Folders that have been quietly open for years suddenly surface in Copilot answers. This is not Copilot leaking. This is permissions failing, and Copilot is the spotlight. Treat this as a gift. 5. Your Microsoft 365 tenant boundary holds. Customer A's data does not bleed into Customer B's Copilot. 6. Your prompts and your data are not used to train the public model. None of it. 6 rules. The first 3 protect you. The 4th saves you. The 5th and 6th let you say yes to legal. Sensitivity labels. The 3rd trust signal. And the one most rollouts forget until it's late. A sensitivity label is a piece of metadata attached to a document. Public, internal, confidential, restricted. Pick the taxonomy your organization uses. The labels travel. When a labeled document is opened in Copilot, Copilot sees the label. When a Copilot answer references a labeled document, the answer inherits the label. When that answer is saved, the new file is labeled. The label is the air traffic control system for your data. 3 pieces of advice. 1. Start with 3 labels, not 7. Public, internal, confidential. Add 4th and 5th tiers later when you have evidence. 2. Auto-apply where you can. The biggest risk is not the wrong label, it is the missing label. 3. Train champions on labels before you train users. The first awkward conversation about a misclassified document should not be in front of the auditor. Without labels, Copilot is governed by trust alone. With labels, it is governed by metadata that travels, and that is what your CISO is asking for. 7. Human in the loop, the 4th trust signal, and the one most likely to go wrong as agents arrive. 3 patterns. 1. Advisory. Copilot suggests. The human decides. Use this for any decision that affects a customer, an employee, or a regulator. The model is a junior colleague offering a draft, not the decision maker. 2. Assistive. Copilot drafts. The human signs. Use this for outbound communication, contracts, anything that ships under your name. The signature is the loop. 3. Autonomous. Copilot acts. The human audits. Use this for low-stakes, high-volume tasks, categorizing tickets, formatting reports, scheduling rooms. Even here, sample, audit, course correct. The mistake to avoid is using autonomous patterns for advisory stakes decisions. The agent denied the loan. The agent rejected the candidate. The agent issued the refund. Each one is a headline you do not want. Match the loop to the stakes, and never delegate a decision the regulator will ask you to defend. As Episode 10 will cover, agents amplify both productivity and exposure. The loop is your ratchet. 5 principles for the Responsible AI Charter. These are not new. Microsoft, the EU AI Act, NIST, and most internal frameworks land on the same 5. The words may differ, the substance is consistent. 1. Human oversight. A human is accountable for every consequential output, always. 2. Fairness. The system performs equitably across the populations it serves. Test for it. Sampled, recurring, documented. 3. Privacy. Personal data is processed lawfully, minimally, and with the rights of the data subject preserved. 4. Transparency. The user knows when they are interacting with AI. The colleague knows when an output was AI-assisted. The customer knows when a decision used AI. 5. Accountability. There is a name on every decision. There is a log for every output. There is a path to recourse for every error. Print these 5 on a single page. Use the same wording in your training, your governance forum, your incident playbook, and your auditor briefing. Consistency is the trust signal, not the eloquence. Governance has a cadence, 3 layers, none optional. Weekly, 30 minutes. The Trust Forum reviews incidents and near misses. A user surfaced a confidential document by accident. A prompt revealed an oversharing issue. A summary cited a source the auditor would not love. Catch them weekly. Fix the cause, log the resolution. Monthly, 60 minutes. Review usage telemetry, drift in prompt patterns, policy gaps that have surfaced, and the Copilot dashboard signals. We cover the dashboard in detail next episode. The monthly is where adoption and trust meet. Same room, same data, same decisions. Quarterly, half day. Formal review with the executive sponsor, legal, risk, the CISO, and, when it makes sense, internal audit and the Works Council. Recharter the controls, update the responsible AI policy, sign off the next quarter. If your governance is annual, it cannot keep up with the technology. If it is daily, it kills usage. Weekly, monthly, quarterly is the rhythm that holds. 3 regulated workflow patterns to study, because if you can name the pattern, you can defend it. 1. Clinical and care settings. Copilot drafts the patient note. The clinician reviews and signs. The audit system retains the prompt, the draft, the signed version, and the time delta. The clinician's signature is the legal moment. Copilot is a productivity tool, not a clinical decision system. 2. Financial advice. Copilot suggests a portfolio adjustment based on the client's stated objectives. The advisor approves and adds context. A supervisor samples 1 in 20 for compliance review. 3 layers, model, advisor, supervisor, and a paper trail behind every recommendation. 3. HR decisions. Copilot summarizes a candidate file or a performance pack. The hiring manager makes the decision. The employee can request a review with a human-only reread. The agent never makes the call. In each pattern, 2 things are true. The model has a defined role, and the human has the signature. Borrow these patterns. Customize the wording. Defend them in front of your regulator. 3 mistakes that kill trust. Mistake 1, trust as blocker. Legal said no for now. Risk said come back with a paper. The CISO said let's wait for the next release. Result, the rollout stops, momentum dies, and by the time the paper is approved, the use cases are stale. The fix is to bring legal, risk, and the CISO into the design from week 1, not the approval gate at week 12. They are co-authors, not gatekeepers. Mistake 2, trust as paperwork. We wrote the policy in March. The policy lives in a SharePoint folder no one reads. Champions don't reference it. Users have never seen it. Result: the auditor asks who follows the policy, and the answer is silence. Policy without operating cadence is decoration. Mistake 3, trust as theater. We ran a responsible AI workshop. We posted the principles on the intranet. Result: performative, unverifiable, and the first incident reveals there is no plan behind the posters. Trust is operational. Trust is a forum that meets weekly, a label that travels, a log the auditor can query, a human signature that holds up in court. Anything else is theater, and the room knows. 3 takeaways. 1. 5 trust signals: grounding, data boundaries, sensitivity labels, human in the loop, and audit. Engineer all 5 from week 1. Retrofitting them under pressure costs twice as much. 2. Permissions are the boundary, not policies, not promises, not posters. The Microsoft 365 permission model is what protects you. Copilot is the spotlight that exposes when it has been misconfigured. Treat that exposure as a gift. And 3, match the loop to the stakes. Advisory, assistive, autonomous. Choose the loop deliberately and never delegate a decision the regulator will ask you to defend. Trust is not the brake on your rollout. Trust is the suspension that lets you go faster without braking, and the reason Year 2 gets funded. Coming up in Episode 8, Measuring Value with the Copilot Dashboard, we have built fluency, we have engineered trust. Now comes the question every CFO asks at month 6, show me the value. Episode 8 is the practical answer. Which signals matter, which are vanity, how to set baselines you can defend, the 4 metrics that matter most in Year 1, and how to read the Copilot dashboard without flattering yourself. If today's episode helped you see why most rollouts stall on the trust line, do me a favor, subscribe, share it with the person who runs your governance forum, and join the 10-week journey. See you in Episode 8.